Okay, let's just get started. It's disappointing, but that's okay. I'm sure they'll.
Yeah, maybe they'll jump on later.
Okay. All right. So right now we left off with I have the. I'm gonna share my browser. Right now we have the portfolio page and the about page done, and I just left the borders just so we could take that out all the way at the end. We could just take out that property. And now what I'm gonna do is very similar to the. So I'm gonna go to the contact page. And the contact page is very similar. It's all, same layout. So I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to like save as my about page and then just like kind of use it as most things already created and delete some of the stuff that's not needed. So I'm going to switch over to my Sublime.
Oh, I've got to look at it. There we go.
Okay. So if you can see in my Sublime, I have make sure you could see your folder, the whole folder in your Sublime. Can you see my mouse, my cursor, guys?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So I see I have an index, playground. This is other stuff. Index, about.html. I don't know what this was like all the way in the beginning before we made it into a website. My images, my CSS folder has my styles.css.
So is that just view show? How am I supposed to view show folders or something? Where do you get that?
View sidebar. Can you see?
Oh, view sidebar. There it is.
Yeah. Can you see me doing this? View sidebar. It doesn't show. It doesn't put me going to view.
No, I don't see that.
Okay. So maybe it doesn't show that in the window. Yeah, just view sidebar.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm gonna open up my about.html. Okay. I'm gonna go file, save as.
I'm sorry, it just says show, it just says hides, it just says show open files, so I don't get all the folders.
You don't see the sidebar?
No, it has a sidebar, but for the options under view sidebar, I just have view open files. And then it only shows me my style CSS and index HTML because those are only two I have open. I don't know how you're seeing all your folders.
Yeah, the way you see. Oh, but then that means you must not have folders. I don't. Oh, okay, I see. Why don't you see the sidebar? Kina, do you see a folder sidebar? Maybe.
Yeah, I think
How'd you do that?
I did that weeks ago. Let me see. What?
Yeah, just. Jill, maybe look on. I have it. I'm not sure if I have the same setup as everyone, but I don't see why view sidebar shouldn't work.
Well, I have all my files in a folder called Class 6 on my desktop.
Oh, so drag. Are you sure that that's the final folder, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Drag the folder into the sidebar. I want to just drag it in. See if that works.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
That's good.
So
thank you.
Just as a double confirmation, close your other things that are open and reopen them in the folder that you just put in there so you don't get mixed up. I don't know what was open before.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, just make sure you open them up from the folder you just added. No, you don't have to close out everything, but okay, whatever.
Let's see.
So do it again and then.
Open file. Yeah, no, it's going to make me drag the folder in there again.
Yeah,
okay.
drag it again, but just open it from the folder. Open your about.html from there. Click the about, yeah.
Okay, got that, and then the index. Oh, but I want to make them two separate tabs. So do I just, how do you make the index like a separate tag from the about?
I'm not sure, but just double click. Click twice. Don't click once.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, but you don't need index. Don't worry about index. We're working on about.html now. Open up about.html.
Okay.
Okay. So now we're gonna go to File, Save As, and then put put contact.html and just save it. So basically, we just have a duplicate about, but it's called contact.html. So that's what we're going to use. And Jill, I would double click.
Okay, I did just double click on it.
Okay.
Here we go.
So you have it open. So now we have it open. It's basically a duplicate of about.html. So now let's look through this code and get rid of some of the things here. I'm going to open up the contact.html page. So let's get rid of, let's just get rid of the photo, the profile pic. We need that. Unless you want, yeah, no, you don't need that. So now we have the setup. I mean, this, we can keep all this. You don't have to copy this exactly, but we can just, I guess we can just get rid of the, I don't need this, the about us information. Just leave this section called class work. That is like where we'll put the form. And then I would just write in the H1 instead of a little bit about me, I would just write contact, whatever. Because this is just like it's not like a live production site, just putting something there, contact us, refresh. So now if you open up in your browser, just make sure that you go to contact and you see your, the page, contact.html. Let me share that on my end.
I'm not seeing it update. I'm not seeing it update.
I think, can you click about?
Oh, about?
Okay, now click contact. Okay, there it is.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
So I think maybe in your index file, you never connected it to contact.html. That's why. You could do that later. But you didn't get rid of the profile pic either, unless you want to leave it. Is that one?
Oh, this?
I can see like everything on your screen, but like just make sure that you have the contact.html page open.
Yes, that's what I'm using. It says it up here.
All right. So just copy what I did. I just like kind of deleted the profile pic. Just you could double click, highlight the line, and just delete. It'll get rid of it.
Oh, highlight between the
No, just get rid of the whole div tag.
Oh, the whole div tag. Okay.
And then save. Okay, so
there it is.
Get rid of the about us. Yeah, I'm gonna share. I'm gonna share
your. Oh yeah. Okay. Because I'm trying to look to see where that would be.
Do it again. Okay. Can you see my screen, Jill?
Yes, I'm looking for the about us section.
I'm gonna do it again. I must have did it fast. Let me back up. Okay.
Oh, I see. About.
So profile pic, I highlight it, delete, gone.
Right.
About us, I'm highlighting these elements, delete, gone.
I'm looking for my about us. That's what I can't find. Or
about us, you can't find it. Go. Okay.
About a little where it says a little about me.
Can you scroll down? Okay. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, about us, right here.
Yeah. How are we doing, Joe? You just gotta delete it. So
Where? Yeah, but where?
okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it. I can't find
Okay.
it on my screen though, what you're doing.
Can you see my Sublime?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it again. Okay, hold on, let me back up. Okay, can you see my
Okay, there's the about us. So you just deleted all that.
But can you see my code?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, so just follow. Okay, look what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it again. Okay, I'm double clicking this element because that's the pick, the profile pick. I'm deleting it. Did you see that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I already did that part.
So now, okay, save it. I'm gonna scroll down. Okay, in a section called section work, there's about us and the paragraph. Okay, just gonna delete that.
Yeah, I deleted it.
All right. All right. So let's move on. And then change the H1 inside called contact us. Okay. So on your screen, Jill, just go to the contact page in your browser just to make sure that you gotta refresh. Make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's fine.
Okay. So let's go back. All right. So now you see there's an element called section. This is an open. So please, as I'm doing this, like just look, Jill, at the code that I'm highlighting. So this section is open tag and this is a close tag.
Mm-hmm.
This is one element. So if you have to delete, if I say delete the section, you have to delete the whole element. Don't delete it, but I'm just saying you have to delete the whole element. So now we have to put our cursor inside. Everything has to go as a child to the to some parent. Since I want to write inside this, this section work, that's where I want to start putting my form. So now let's do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another section in here called dot form tab. I'm going to hit enter. I'm creating another.
Oh, shit.
What happened?
Mine is not, it's not doing the automatic.
No. Okay.
I
I wonder why it's not doing that. I thought you had that last week.
know. Do I have to, it should be HTML from the bottom. Yeah, I don't know why.
Did you ever install the Emmet extension?
Oh yeah, it's been doing it.
Okay, just try it again. Dot form tab. Are you hitting tab? Just let me see what happens when you do it. Yeah, there.
Okay.
Why'd you say it didn't do it?
I didn't know you had to hit tab. I thought it started doing it when you were typing. It was recognizing it.
Okay. Yeah, you gotta hit the tab so it knows. Yeah. Because it wouldn't know where you want to end the name of the class, right? That's why you have to tell it at some point, like when you're stopping the name of the class. Maybe in the future I'll get it more sophisticated. All right, so that form, good to go, good to go. All right, guys, rock and roll, Jill. Let's go, Jill. Get it together over there. Get it together, Jill.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, cool. Put your cursor inside the between the open and close tags, and look at Kina's. Do you see how hers looks?
Yeah, I can't see Kina's.
Oh, I thought you guys can scroll through and look at everyone's. That's what he said last week.
Yeah, that's if you click on the person's name, then you can see their screen.
Okay. All right. So Jill, look at my screen then for now. Okay. Look at my screen. So look at this. Okay. I'm gonna do this again for you. Please follow. Okay. Look at this. Dot form tab. Where's the cursor when I hit? I didn't do anything. I just hit where's the cursor? Oops, I got messed up. But the cursor is right here.
Mm-hmm.
See the cursor there?
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm looking at your screen. Here's what you did now. Now you somehow you got here, and now your cursor is down here somewhere. Oh, now I'm gonna do this again. Dot form tab. Here's my cursor set right in the middle because the code knows that that's where I'm gonna start. Hit enter. it keeps your cursor in the middle, in between the open and close. Okay. Good. Good.
Right.
Okay.
And now you move back to the top again.
Yeah. Then you just exactly.
Okay.
Just kind of get it. I like to just I hit enter. It keeps it right there. I mean, I just like to hit enter a couple of times. I just like to make some more space, and I go back up. You can leave it where it is. I just like to make more room. And you have to know that I want us to get past this point because we are creating a container for the form, and we're going to put the stuff inside the form. So we definitely want to be inside these open and close tags. Anyway, okay. So I'm going to open up my CSS. I'm going to change my layout to do both so you can see both at the same time. So open up your styles, double click your styles.css, get that open. Scroll down to all the way, like kind of to where it ends. We stopped adding properties. Like the last thing I have is profile pic. Cool. And if you want, I don't know how you feel about viewing the layout so you can see them both side by side, but if you like it like that, that's fine. I don't know if it makes it any easier. If you go to view layout columns 2, view layout columns 2, and then you can have like both of them open if you guys want to do that. If not, you can just keep switching in between. Yeah.
I don't need to keep switching. I'd rather do it that way for now.
Yeah. Jill, if you feel like it's not enough room and it's going to get confusing, it's up to you. Okay. So just decide what you want to do there, but I think you can make it work. Okay. So
I have so many tabs in mine, even though I'm saying to do tab size 2. I have like all of this space here.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, what you can do is just scroll up. Do you have anything there? Can you scroll up? Nothing. So Command All. Command A, and then hold Command down, and there's a left bracket on the keyboard. Hold Command. Yeah, it's gonna do it again. It'll bring it a little more. You could do it twice. Yeah. There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You have to bring it all the way. If you want it flush, that's fine. If you can use the other bracket, the closing command, it'll move it back. It'll tab it. All right. So just make sure you're good to go. You save and refresh your browser. Make sure everything's still good to go and you didn't delete anything. All right, let's move on, guys. So section. Okay, so now we have. Let's just do. I'm gonna do dot form because I'm gonna make a property, right? I named this form. I'm gonna make another class called form. Dot form, and then open up the curly bracket. Automatically puts the cursor in the middle, and then we start adding some properties. Now, what I want to do here is the idea here is I want to just make like another container for the form to keep it kind of in place. So I'm just gonna do like width, maybe. I don't know. Maybe we can do like 80%. Just gonna play with it. Maybe max width. Maybe I don't want it to go beyond like 600 pixels. We're not gonna be able to see anything just yet. I'm just kind of creating some container. If you refresh, you'll see that there's a line that got created. Every time you do this and you save, keep going to your browser, refresh, Command R, Command R. Keep seeing the change. So Kina, you'll see the line that got created because we have a border red.
Yes. Yep, a red line.
Yeah, and then if you do margin 0 auto, which is really, remember I said there's a shortcut. Margin is like should have 4 values, but you could do 2 values, which is top. The first one's top and bottom. The second one is left and right. So we're gonna say left and right auto, top and bottom 0 margins for now. And you refresh, you'll see that the line got in the middle. Let's centering it away. Yep, good to go. Cool. So now we're just kind of creating a container. Now the container, it looks like one line because there's nothing inside yet. So it's just flat. But it's really going to be a box. Once we start putting stuff in here, it'll start to kind of form a box. So now we want to start adding those text fields. So I'm going to show you another sort of trick. Oops, getting on text messages here. So what we can do is we're just going to I want to show you like a little bit of a different way to make this form that I see. I'm going to make it a little more in a different style. So right now, if we look at the model website, I'm going to share it right now. I'm going to just create these text fields. I'm going to skip the name and email address for now. I just want to show you a way to make this in a way that I like to do it. And so I'm just going to, so right now we're going to make 3 text fields, 1, 2, 3, and a button. Okay. Because it doesn't really need name and email address because you can put this thing called placeholder where it says enter your name. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So if we go to section.form, now I want to create an element. Now this is the code for the text field. If you type input inside the HTML, hit tab.
Wait, I can't see your screen.
Oh, you're right.
I would say yes, still show on the website.
Go back, yep. So again, I'm gonna go inside the form, I'm in my HTML, type input, tab. It's gonna make the code for this is basically a text field. Input is the HTML element for text field. And if you refresh the browser, you'll see like a little ugly old text box. That's like the back in the days, 1998 looking text field. But at least you'll see, I want you to see that HTML element makes that text field. If you refresh your contact.html page in the browser. Yeah, Joel, you got it. Just refresh your browser. Yeah, see that little text box?
Oh, right.
Yeah. So now, like I said, HTML doesn't really, it just gives the foundation of the tool, and then CSS does all the styling. HTML just does nothing but give you exactly what it is. Here's a text box, but now we want to make it look cool. So now, like I said, just like anything else, CSS could style any element on your HTML just by simply giving it a class, connecting the class, or just styling the element itself. But we already created, we created this form. This is for this box. Now I want to create a class inside here I'm going to give a style for the actual text field. So I'm going to type class equals, and I'm going to name it contact field. You can name this whatever you want, remember that. But I just like to name it something I got used to. You always want it to be, the name to be explicit of what it is so that you can reference it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go into my CSS and I'm going to hit enter. I'm going to make another one called dot contact field. Open the curly brackets. So now I have the class just sitting there, and I could just tell it to do whatever I want it to do. I could style it with all these properties. Okay, and Jill yeah, there you go. Good work. Kina, you made a mistake here.
Yeah, and I noticed because it's not green. Content.
Look at it. Just pause. You can tell you have it sitting inside. You have a new class sitting inside another class. Shouldn't be like that.
Oh, yep. I said it. Cool.
See that? So you need to close that bracket on the form. For the form. You need to close the curly brackets for the form. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, no one. I had screen
There you
half
go.
off the screen, so that's why I couldn't see it.
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know how we all got, so many people got like all these tabs. You can also do the same thing, bring it all back if you want, but that's fine. Yeah, I would keep it in line with the form. See that line where the form is, the gray line?
Yeah. Got it.
I mean, whatever you prefer. You could push it one more, whatever you, but at least somewhere there. You could tab it one more if you want, whatever feels like you can see that.
Now I'm gonna leave it aligned like the profile pic one.
Yeah, and in your contact field, align it up with the form too, so you don't get it gets really confusing like that. Yeah, scroll down. Oh, so now you have two. So get rid of that other one. Yep, get your cursor in there. And there you go. And maybe bring the end. Yeah, there you
There
go.
we go. Got it now. Let's see.
Perfect. Yeah, see what you just did? That's really good. Always do that when you find yourself. Just line things back up because you start coding and it looks messy. It's only going to confuse you. You know.
Right. Okay.
Okay, let me go back to. Good job. Okay, so now I want to start adding some properties. So the first thing I want to do is, let's say I wanted to fill the width. So I'll say width 100%. We could edit this later. Just giving some default values that we'll be able to play with. So we want it to go all the way across because, and if you refresh your browser, see what happened. It went all the way across the form box. And you can see that I would get into the habit of not every little change, but just take a peek and then refresh and make sure that just what your code did. So you see it went across like that, and it's filling the form container. And what's cool about that's why I created another container. Like we have the section, then we have inside a form, and then we have the contact fields. I created this because I want to use the form to dictate like how wide I want to go. Then I could play with that without having to go into every contact field and change it. Now I just have the form that can change the width. But I'm telling the contact field just spread across this whole box.
Okay.
And then I like to leave margin again. This is like a key. Margin 0 auto generally keeps a thing centered, a box kind of like centered. I like to always have that. Otherwise, it'll left align itself. In this case, I just wanted to stay centered. Now, watch what happens to your background color, or just background. You don't, because you can do background color, but I'm just gonna do a whole background. Just say transparent, and you refresh, and now there's no white.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going little by little here. So I'm gonna try not to look at my Google Hangouts for a little bit. I'm gonna get in flow because I want to keep seeing what I'm doing and refreshing. So I'm gonna share my screen. So now I have this. So now we have background transparent. Now we don't see anything. Now we have a border. So I'm gonna make it look like an actual form that like looks kind of designed like a real form on a piece of paper. So I'm gonna get rid of like the borders except the bottom border. So I'm gonna go border 0 pixels. Border is a style, we used this before, this property, which is the border. I'm just gonna say 0. I just don't want to have any pixels, and everything goes by pixels. So if you refresh, you'll see nothing. But if you put your cursor, you'll see it's actually there, but it doesn't have any border, it just has nothing. So now after that, I'm gonna say border bottom. I want the border on the bottom to to just be now tell it to have a 1 pixel solid and white. And generally, like, just for information, when you use like flat colors like black, white, HTML can pick that up, but you don't need the hex. The hex is, I know it's like it's the pound FFF. I get lazy, I write white. That only works for like you don't want to do it for like the other colors, just like the easy colors if I get lazy. But anyway, I'll just put the FF just so you refresh, and now you see a line there. And now you can place the cursor and you could see.
Right.
But now it looks like it looks all a little funky still because we have all these like border reds all over the place, but you can see it there. Another thing I would do is make the font size a little bigger. Font dash size by 18 pixels.
Omar, for some reason, my box did not extend all the way across, and it's still showing as a white box.
Can you show me your browser? Just hit refresh.
Yeah, because that's I've even closed out the contact page and reopened it again.
Scroll down. Did you close the curly brackets? Okay. So border solid white margin. Da 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 da. Nah, it's got to be correct. Just you might.
Let me clear cache and cookies just to be safe. I'm using Chrome, so maybe I would normally have that issue, but
yeah, it does. It has it like a lot. I noticed this when we don't use it for the last week. If you go to Chrome, you go to clear browsing data, and just do like the last hour. Chrome has a way of kind of storing everything. We should do that. No, not settings. If you just go to the preferences, the top. I think if you hit Chrome at the top. Are you on a Windows?
yes.
Windows. Oh, I don't know how this works on Windows. It's hidden.
Yeah, I have to go in. Yeah, I have to go into settings.
Oh, okay.
Settings.
I'm not sure where you get it from settings though. It's
You have to go into settings and scroll down to where it says
okay. Oh, you found it? Oh, cool, great. You could just do the last hour so you don't lose everything. I always just cached images. That's all you need checked. But okay.
Oh.
Yeah, you didn't have to do the beginning of time, Kina. You could just do the past hour next time. It's just gonna take longer, and you're gonna lose everything that you worked on, kind of. But that's fine.
I made that mistake.
I don't know. Now I see you logged in as twice.
Yeah, I see myself logged in twice too.
Let's focus on your browser. Did you refresh? Did you get it going?
Let me.
Yeah, just look at your browser.
Wow. Still the same thing.
Could you use a different browser maybe?
I don't prefer using Explorer.
Maybe you can try. Can you open the incognito tab in Chrome? It should definitely work. Just refresh it. Just give it a second. Just refresh it. Um,
Yeah, it's all right. Keep going. I'll come back to that. Maybe the next one that we create. For sure.
Okay. So
I did the font color white because it's on black.
okay. Yeah, you could just do color white. Yeah. Yep. Not font color, be color.
Yeah, it's in. I did it already.
Okay, cool. Kina, do you? I can't see your browser. Do you have this like? Oh, there.
All right. You know what? I realized what it was.
What?
Getting about case sensitive. Is it?
Yeah, I
Am I
just
saying that right? Because for the contact field, I had I had lowercase here, but then on my styles sheet, I had a capital C.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Versus having the lowercase c.
Okay. I didn't see that. Okay, cool. Yeah, little things like that. All right, cool. So
Yeah.
let's move on. So now we have. So we'll do the color, like FFF, refresh. Now when someone types, it's white. Okay. So, and then another thing is like padding. Like if you look at when you put your cursor, it's kind of tight. If you want to design a little more, you can put padding. And I don't know, you play with this. Remember there's 4 values. If you use one, it goes across the board, top, right, bottom, left. So I'm gonna try that because I don't mind it going across the board. I'm gonna try 10. I don't know. Let's just see what it looks like. Yeah, I mean maybe that's a little better now when they type. It's up to you. You can also do each top, right, bottom, left, so you can add different values. So if you want the bottom to be a little less, top, right, bottom could be like 5 pixels. Top, right, bottom, left could be like 5 pixels. So it's up to you if you want like the left to kind of align there a little better. Maybe that's like a little. It's just all preference.
Mm-hmm.
And then so there's also like now I'm gonna go into my HTML. There's an attribute. So this is an element. This is the tag name. Then there's attributes, type, class, and they have values. So I'm gonna put my cursor right here. I'm gonna add another attribute, and there's one called placeholder. What that does, what I just did was, by the way, because it does it automatically in Sublime, I said placeholder. And it came up, and I just hit enter, so it just kind of did it for me.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the attribute. What it does is put like default text there. That when you put the cursor there, it goes away.
Oh, right.
So if you put name in this case, I'm gonna save and see what that looks like. And you'll see that it has like a grayed out.
Oh, cool.
You know, kind of nice. So instead of like typing, having another thing that it's up to you design wise. You know, I personally don't really see the need from a usability standpoint to have like name and then a placeholder to enter your name also. I just feel like it doesn't need it, but it's up to you. Like this form looks nice too. I'm just showing you different ways to do things. Oops, that was something else I wanted to do. So name, I just feel like it's obvious. You can write whatever you want. If you want to write like enter your first name or enter your name, whatever you prefer. And if you want to also make the bottom line a little thicker, you can put 2 pixels. Let's see that. 3. I'm just trying to see the difference. You know, I'm gonna start getting. Let me see if I can get rid of like this red. That's fine. I'll leave it for now. So you can see what it's doing here. Enter your name when you type. You could start typing. And another thing that's actually pretty cool is that like CSS can do so much. Like it even has like there's a property called text dash transform, and that takes on like uppercase, capitalize. Like you could tell it's like look what happens when I just put uppercase. I hit refresh. When you type, it's all uppercase. So check that.
And that's changing your placeholder to all uppercase too, right? Yeah. Okay.
Now, I'm just showing you that I don't like uppercase personally, but some
Yeah.
people might like it. But you can also do capitalize. And what that does is it just capitalizes the first word. So if they type, so they don't have to, I mean, people probably most likely capitalize the first, but actually if you just type Omar or whatever, you know, Jill, you know, Kina, it just starts, you know, automatically capitalizing the first. I love that because then, like for a name, you know, it's like Omar or whatever, you know, they don't have to bother. It's nice to know that these things exist, you know, like sometimes when you're working on forms and, you know, people will, you know, I look at code and these kind of things as a way of to be as efficient as possible. If I can make it in any way, like utilize the code to not let someone have to do an extra step,
Uh-huh.
I just love,
Right.
you know.
Makes sense.
You know. So there we go. So we got that. And what's cool is once you kind of master how you want this to look, you know, I think it's okay. You can, you know, there's a lot. What else can we do? So, I mean, if you want to do the background color, you can give it a background color if you want. You can add those borders again. But so if we basically take this and copy and paste it below, just creating another HTML element and changing it to like enter your email, just hit refresh, you'll see that it'll stack itself right underneath another one. Right? Did you see that?
Uh-huh.
Right? Cool. And then now you'll see it stacks it very tightly. And now let's go to our margin. Remember we had margin? Margin, remember we said, is the space around the element. So it's a margins, just like a piece of paper, like essays, like papers have margins. And there's pad. Although, yeah, that's a margin. It's kind of tricky because it kind of feels like padding because there's margin and padding. Padding is inside, margin's outside.
Right.
So margin, we want the top and bottom. I want to create like maybe 30 pixels. It's top and bottom. Refresh. That's a lot. That's a lot of space. I'd want it to be a little less, maybe like 15. Oh, it's a little better. Right.
Why do my margins look so,
I mean,
I don't know. I just look, my padding looks different. Like I don't have a lot of space beforehand. Let's see.
yeah, let me check a look.
Maybe you have more padding or something.
So let's see your thing. Saved. Oh, put PX. Oh, your padding or your, look at your margins, just put 15 PX, not just 15.
Ah, there we go.
I mean, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but yeah, and then your padding, I think you can go back to, I think you
Yeah, 10. I'm gonna go back to 10.
and then refresh and, you know, change the placeholder in the second one to be like email, you know, something like that. Not the, yeah, like over there. Kina, how you doing? How you get thing look? Good to go?
Playing around with the
Yeah.
pattern now. See?
Okay, there.
Yeah,
that looks good.
but Kina, you don't want to change the padding. I mean, if you could change the padding, but if you want to create that space in between the elements, you want to do the margin.
Okay.
The margins are what is around. I'll share mine. The margin, put 15px auto. That's going to be around the element. You don't want to change the padding here. The padding you can technically do it, but it's just going to make the text field when someone enters, like, you don't want it to look weird. The box. Okay. So do that. Let me see how you do with that.
Whoa, my line looks.
Better, right? All right. Then another thing that I've realized, it took me a while. I can see this now a lot, like on iPhones. If you want to keep this line, has like on like the mobile Safari browser, it gives it like a curve for some reason, even though it looks straight here. So what you want to do is for Safari on mobile, unless you don't mind, if you see this on mobile, you'll see what I mean. But there's a radius, so if you want to do the border radius, remember we did that last week. That was the rounded corners of any element.
Right.
So I would just put 0 pixels.
Oh, because on the phone it rounds it automatically.
Yeah, Safari, it gives it like a little rounded corner on all forms. On all like text fields, it rounds it. Which, maybe you could see that as a usability issue, whatever, but when we design, I like to control it how we want to do it. It's up to you, but I'm just giving you a little extra tidbit. Border radius 0 pixels. If you don't mind that thing, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing you can do is outline 0. That's another border. I just like to make sure that that's 0 too. I just found that sometimes it helps. I don't know. It just gets rid of, if you see like when you refresh your browser. Now this is up to you. This is also usability. When you put your, let me share my. When you now place your cursor, it doesn't have that blue, tint. If I take off the outline, refresh, and place the cursor, it creates that blue tint.
Okay.
Oh wait, if you put outline 0, it does that?
No, I mean I got rid of mine. I mean if you remove it. So by default, the browser puts these tints.
Oh.
When you add the outline, when you add the outline 0, it removes it.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, it removes it. But that's a usability issue. That's up to you. I don't like them. But
Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, but technically, it's the right thing, I think, usability-wise. Because if I refresh, it's a way of letting you know, kind of that you've highlighted this field. But your cursor does that. Like
Yeah, you see it blinking, so you know you're in there.
Exactly. Yeah. So these are things, like I said, the browser does default things, but the outline 0 will get rid of that, like, I don't know, just like a usability highlight thingy that you can get rid of.
Yeah.
Outline 0 gets rid of that. Now, for the comments, so these text fields will work across the board, and then you can start researching drop downs and things like that. That's a little more advanced, but they're all, this is when you got to start doing the self-learning. You can Google search like HTML.
Oh wait, what is this? I'm sorry. There's this little thing in my name box way over to the right. Do you see me clicking on it? It's like it says customize.
What?
That looks like that's part of your. That looks like you have some kind of extension in your Chrome or.
Okay.
Yeah, that's you must have. That's not connected to the code.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
It looks like an autofill extension you have, something like that.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so that's fine. That's not connected. But so you start self-learning. You look at like how to do drop downs, radio buttons. They're all not that hard. It's just you just have to get the code. It's not a big deal. But for this we're just gonna focus on these inputs. All those will work. Now, when you want to make something like a comment area. Just want to make sure you can see the comment area. Now the inputs, the input is always going to be like one line. So in something like the comment where you can click multiple lines, you need what the element is called text area. I'm going to type it here, text area tab. Mine automatically pre-filled some stuff. So I'm going to just do it again for you. Text area tab. Mine pre-filled some of the basic, attributes there.
Mm-hmm.
So since I'm going to style it all up, you don't need, now without CSS, these are attributes that give it columns and rows. Actually, just refresh your browser, just look at it, see what it did.
Okay, yeah, just a white box.
Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of.
I need to see that because mine didn't. Well, I don't have that extra feature in Sublime.
Oh.
To automatically add.
Go back. Well, that's fine. Look what I'm going to do. I'm going to get rid of the columns and rows anyway because we're going to style that. You could leave the name and ID. I'm not going to use the name and ID feature anyway. The ID and stuff like that is only important when you start using JavaScript and doing stuff that's going to reference the form. We don't really need. All we need is the class. So you can get rid of all that. Just get rid of all the attributes. Just type class equals
Oh, so I should get rid of all this stuff?
Yeah, get rid of it. You don't need it.
Okay. So text here.
I can't see.
You can't see my browser?
No.
Let me share my my Sublime. I'm gonna do it again. Text area tab automatically creates these attributes. All these attributes are unnecessary for me in this application because I don't need the columns and rows because I'm gonna do that in my style sheet. Name and ID, you only need name and ID when you start coding JavaScript and you need to reference. That's when you get interactive, and the ID gives every element an ID, so you know which one you wanna target. We're not doing that right now, so we don't need any of that stuff. All we need is the class. CSS.
Oh.
And I'm gonna give it the contact field class, just for now, and look at what it did. A refresh. Get a nice little line there. Not totally ideal, but give me the idea here.
Right.
Okay, let me just share my screen.
Okay.
So now what I want to do here is, now technically this works, but let's give it a placeholder value. Say comments. So I mean, if you do that, technically this works, but I'd want to give it. I mean, they could. It's as long as it's a text area, they get all those multiple. They get that like where you could just keep adding. And in the text field, if you hit enter, you can't add any more lines. And the text area element, you get like all those lines. You could just keep hitting enter. But if you want to make it like just to look like a little more longer, you can. So did you get this far, guys?
Yes. Yeah. Well, you can see where I am on the right.
Yeah, I'm trying to because I'm sharing my whole screen. I don't get.
Oh, okay.
That's all right. Yeah, I see. I'm looking.
Yeah, right here.
Go. Good to go.
Okay.
Kina, you're good?
I think so. I'm just making sure I'm not missing anything.
Just hit a refresh. Your browser. Let me share my. I can't see your browser, Kina, so whatever.
Oh, that's because I'm only sharing out Sublime.
That's okay. Does it look okay?
For some reason, I just did a refresh, but then it's not showing the comments in the placeholder. Let me see, what did I do?
It looks good to me. Did you save it?
You didn't put anything in the style sheet, right? It's only on the
Oh,
contact.
you have a capital C? Is that a problem?
The placeholder, it doesn't matter.
No, okay.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, but
Yeah, I didn't know.
so are you sure that in the browser you have the page open? The right page? You don't have multiple pages, right? You don't have duplicates, right?
No, I don't. Let me reopen the contact here. I just closed it out to make sure. This is no different than the one above for the contact field.
The code is definitely right. I just can I see your browser?
Yeah, that's what I'm about to open that. I mean, share that now.
Okay.
See it. So it has the field there, but then it's just not showing the comments text.
Oh. Can you hit a refresh? Okay. That's weird. Let's
Well, keep going.
yeah, let's
I might notice something again.
That's all right. Let's just maybe in that browser. Let me see here. Let's do a Google search on this. Shouldn't be. I don't know. I feel like sometimes your guys' browsers like takes a while. Like I don't know to load the update.
Yeah, mine has been working okay, but mine was doing that the last time. It was
Yeah.
taking a while.
I feel like it's holding on and for a while. I don't know why. But it should definitely work. I don't know. Maybe we have to change something else. Okay. So now let's do. So it looks okay. What I would do is I just want to give it a little more. So it looks like a comment. Maybe like give it more space. So I'm gonna make a second class. Remember I told you can add multiple classes because I don't want to duplicate my contact field stuff. I just say I wanted to share most of that stuff, but I maybe want it to be a little bigger. So I would create another class called text field. I'm just naming this whatever I want. I'm just calling that on my own text field. And I'm going to say the height. You just want to give it a little more height. So I want to say maybe like 80px. Refresh, see what that does. Oh, I can't refresh because I didn't add the class. So I created the class, but I need to also add it into the class, right into the text area. Sorry if I'm going too fast here.
No.
The text area has one class. I want to give it another one, space. So it has two classes now. It's sharing a contact field and a text field class. So it's taking all of this, and then it's taking all of this. I made this separate because I don't want the contact field to share this height. I only want it to be in one of these. So I refresh. I moved it down a little more. You might want to do, I don't know, I'm just playing with this, 140 pixels. You know, if you like even the way that looks, if you want to do it more like a box, maybe you can. Maybe for the text field, we can add a whole border. Let's just see what that looks like. That doesn't look bad either. Like for the text field, if you just want to add a, let me share my. So this is how mine looks right now. If you take off that border, you refresh, mine look kind of like this. It's up to you style wise.
So this should look right, right? Okay.
Let me see. Yeah, you. Excuse me, guys. Oh my god, I'm yawning like crazy. What am I doing? Yeah, yours looks okay.
Okay.
If you want to add the border, I was just showing. If you didn't want to, it's a style thing. Whatever. Looks okay there. I think the border helps differentiate it a little bit from the regular text fields. That's
Yeah, you see that you have a bigger area to write.
a design thing, and you know, it's Kina. Yeah, how are you doing? Keep going. So yeah, I mean that's pretty cool. And I'm gonna wait for Kina to finish. I want to start adding a button.
Okay, I'm ready.
Make sure do you see it in the
Let me
browser?
see. All right, let me see that. Okay, yes, I see the box. All right.
Okay, cool. And you added it into your HTML, right?
Yes.
Okay. So now I'm just looking at like the submit button here. So I think we did a button before, but if we didn't, now we want to add a button underneath. Now, of course, like this form won't submit anything yet. That's a little more interactive. You need some other code for that. But there's a lot of stuff online that kind of shows you how to submit a form. But that's actually a different language that submits a form and sends an email and that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Email CSS doesn't allow for that. And neither does JavaScript. It's actually PHP or a backend language code. But there's a lot of scripts that you can. I'll explain this a little more. Let's finish up the submit the button first. So I'm gonna put my cursor here and do a tab. Now this is a button. That's a link. This is a link. And if you write submit inside, refresh, you'll see this like really ugly link in the browser that says submit.
Wait, do I have it in the wrong place or something? Could I see your code again? I don't think I. Oh, you put it outside of the
Outside of the what?
outside of the quotes. I just wrote it between the quotes.
Mm-hmm.
Href equals. Yeah.
I want to look at your code. Let me just share let me just switch up here. No, you look fine. Oh,
Well, I have it in between the quotes, and you have it in between the carets.
right. The submit should be in between the A tag, not in the href attribute. The href attribute is the link. Remember, it's the link to wherever it's going to link to.
Right. So it shouldn't be here.
No.
It should be here.
Yep. How do I have it? Oh yeah, submit. Yep. And then refresh your page. Yep, see that little ugly submit link?
Yeah.
Right? But that's okay. So that's basically a tag is what makes a link. Now we just need to style it to make it look like a button. Kina, how are you doing?
Good. I have the submit. The same thing.
You got the link?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So now we're gonna create like a little nice button here. I'm gonna okay. So now I put I'm gonna go to my CSS. Well, let's give this A thing a class. So I'm gonna put my cursor inside the opening A tag. So I want to give it a class equals. I'm gonna say, let's say BTN for button. And the href, you could just give it like a pound tag. That's like a dummy link because we don't really want it to go anywhere. We want it to submit the form.
So that's where your link would go, though.
That's where the link would go. In
Okay.
this case, submitting forms is a little more advanced. It needs you need to sort of the submit link would tell the form to submit do a PHP page that processes the text fields and sends it like, to an email or something like that. Right now, we don't want nothing to happen to the link. So that works.
Wait, because you would send it like either to an email or either to a database to store the information, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, that's a little more, that's definitely more advanced. We won't
Okay.
be doing that, but I can kind of link you to some resources. I'll talk a little bit about that after we kind of get the form going. Everyone's good with that? Okay, with the link? Okay. So now we have a class called BTN. So I'm going to go to my CSS and say, create that CSS class. We can call it .btn. That's what we called it. Now to give it some properties. Oh, I think we actually, I put BTN, and if you refresh the page, we actually already have something. We must have created
Yes,
this.
it's got the green with the, yeah.
So see how cool, this is why I love code and CSS, is that we did it once somewhere at the top. I actually don't remember forgot which line. Let me go back to the portfolio page has the quote button, right?
Yeah, where we played with the radius on the corners and everything.
So let's go back to the context. So that's cool. So this is what's great. We already have it. So we don't want to, if we want to change this now, so the right thing to do here is, code is all about being efficient. The right thing is that before we start developing, we want everything to be consistent. So right now, this button is consistent with the other one. If you want this to look different, we need to change the class and recreate the properties. But
So is this button is down and to the left?
Yeah. So in order to make it centered, you can, this is a little tricky actually. First of all, just in case, let's actually create another class. We want to change some stuff on this button. So I'm going to create another one called Contact BTN. So it's sharing the BTN and it's sharing the Contact BTN class, which we haven't created yet. So I'm going to go back to my class and I'm going to create a .contact BTN, brackets. And now if I add different properties here, it'll only affect this button, not the other one. Does that make sense?
Oh, so you want it to be .contact BTN.
So you put BTN, then contact BTN.
So we have, remember, any element can have as many classes as you want.
Right.
We already created a BTN in our CSS all the way up somewhere. Right here. It's sharing these things. So if you add BTN and you refresh your contact page, you'll see that this code exists.
Right, which I guess on that.
You see that, right?
Yes.
Okay, but now if you want to do a little more changing, like you want this one to be centered or this kind of things, we want to add another class because we don't want this to affect the other button. So we can create a new one called .contact BTN and give it, that class here. So now we'll add some properties. I think margin 0 auto. That doesn't do it. Display inline. Actually forget how to center this. That doesn't do it. I forget how to center this actually. Centered.
So I'm following along, but mine didn't center.
Yeah, it's not centered yet. I'm just reviewing if anything is affecting from the other button.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I'm still, centering so the buttons are a little weird. They can act a little finicky in terms of centering because, I'll explain that in a second. But I think what we have to do is so okay, so the buttons are a little tricky. Okay, in that the problem with these links is that it's an element and it technically goes across the whole page, so it doesn't center itself. But we change it to inline block, which keeps it a block, but kind of keeps it inline. Inline block kind of does both, but it's still sort of going across the page in a way. So the only way is to text align the form. So if we put text align center in remember, this is still text that's sitting inside the form. So if we scroll up to the text align in the form, put text align center, and you refresh, it's gonna center the button. We can't center the button from within here, from within the content. So I was wrong, and you didn't have to create this other style. If you go back up to the form, did that work for you guys?
I'm just
Take it.
trying to get that. There we go.
So, okay, go back.
Hold on. Here we go. Let's see. Yes, it did.
Yeah. So, and the reason, I'll just, Keaton, let me make sure you're good to go. There is a way to center the button if you look at my, Keaton, you keep going, just try to get it centered the other way.
Mine's centered.
Okay, cool. I can't see your browser. I was just, okay.
Oh, yeah. Sharing our Sublime moments. Okay.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I was just, so you can technically center this if you change this to block and you give it a width, there's two ways to do this. I just didn't want to confuse you. There's another way where you can give the button a width and then it'll center itself. Margin 0 auto, you make it a block, but you don't tell it to go across the screen. You give it like a very small width or whatever you choose, and then technically it'll center itself. The problem is when you add the width is that it starts to eat up your text. So you have to measure it and you might have to make it bigger and smaller.
Oh, and if you wanted to change the text, it might run out of the box if you use a longer word. Yeah.
And you can measure it. Like if you want your button to be like, I'll just play around with this in front of you. I'll share my whole screen. And so inline block, you can keep it inline block. And if you start changing this 300, I just made it 300. So if you see it's a little bigger, looks a little nicer, like you can do that, but you just have to measure it so that you can't just say like 100 because you have text in there. So I typically I don't like to control it that much. I like to make sure the text gets whatever it gets, but it's up to you to design. If you want to make it a little bigger or smaller, you can add the width and that'll center it. But before, because it was kind of like just going across, I had to text align the form. I had to make the form centered. I hope that's clear a little bit. You just have to play with it. And in this case, like, you can also, like, if you don't like the padding at the top and bottom, like.
I just did that.
You fixed it? You did that yourself?
Look.
Let me see.
I'm so proud.
Oh, that's exciting. Did you change the padding?
Yes, look.
I don't see it though. Wait.
It's right here in the form. Right here.
In your code?
Yeah, my code under style CSS right here.
Oh, for the form.
Yeah.
Right. But I meant of the button.
Oh, so I shouldn't put the padding in the form part.
No, you could do that. That's good that you played with it. If you want to create more space in the form.
Yeah.
Oh, the form itself. Yeah, but technically, remember, you didn't have to do that because you could actually just change the. You
Oh,
don't.
so I could put padding here under the button itself.
Yeah, I meant the contact button. If you wanted to change like it from being so wide on the
Right.
bottom, like you could say at the top, you could just say like.
So this is what
Oh,
mine looks like.
but you can't. The padding won't affect since you give it the width. I remember that.
Okay.
When you
The
give an explicit width,
display.
the
So I
padding gets.
get rid of. Oh, I need to do the width. Okay.
Yeah, if you do the width, Keenan, you could
Width.
add width to yours.
And you did 300.
I did 300. I'm gonna share my. Let me just share the Sublime.
I don't know if that worked or not.
Yeah, it's just sort of.
I don't think that worked.
Well, it should be bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, mine isn't. Wait, let me look at your margin auto inline block. The width. Text align center. And then I started doing padding.
Get rid of the padding. You don't need the padding.
Okay.
Because you have the width, and the padding's gonna throw it off. And
All right, let me go back and refresh. Yeah, it's still a small button. Shouldn't it be longer?
yes,
Yeah, mine is longer now.
Display inline block. I don't see what I did wrong.
is it maybe not refreshing?
Oh, inline block. I don't know. Let's see.
Maybe hit a refresh and.
No, I don't think so.
Well, you don't have to make a new tab. I mean, it'll contact BTN. That's line set up with 300 pixels. I just feel like it's cached or something.
Maybe I should take. Oh wait, I had padding in the form. No.
No, that wouldn't do it. Maybe change the inline block to just block. Get rid of the inline block.
Nope.
Do you have an incognito mode in this?
I don't know what that is.
No.
Weird.
Yeah. I think it's cached a little bit. I don't know that it's gotta. It doesn't make sense. Maybe after
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna put it.
minutes. Oh, Jill, I don't know. I guess we lost you. Keena, did that work for you?
Yes, yeah, the button is larger. And I mean, I'm sharing the entire screen. You should be able to see it. I was just trying to go back to see why I still can't see comments in the actual text field box. This is the way the submit button should look, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I think before Jill dropped off, I think she had a space in between the colon and 300.
Oh, maybe. Let's check
Sorry, I accidentally.
it out.
Jill, can you share your Sublime?
Yes, I had accidentally logged out. Let me share this. My Hangout screen share. This one, start screen share. New tab
Yeah, there's a
here.
You have a space in between the colon for on the line for width and colon. Well, you have a space in between that. It should be 300 should be directly after the colon.
Oh, okay. Wait, no.
You just add an extra space too. And put the cursor in front of the 3 and just remove that space.
Oh, I don't think that matters because see how it does that with all of them?
Yeah, it doesn't. That shouldn't affect it.
Okay.
That's all right. I mean, yeah, it shouldn't affect it. That space is okay. Just try to open it up again.
Let me see here.
Yeah, I think you have to open up your directory.
Why isn't this opening?
Well, it needs the URL.
It should just be this, my index, right?
Open it up. Open the folder on the computer.
Yeah, I have the folder open. You can't see it, but it's open.
Oh.
So which one should I drag into the browser?
Well, where's your folder? The actual computer.
It's here.
It's
right here.
Yeah.
See
So
that?
yeah, double click the contact.html. Drag that into the browser.
Okay. There it is.
Yeah.
Let me get rid of that and make this smaller. Let's see what I have. Yeah, that submit button is still small.
Try to. I don't know. Maybe scroll up to the. Where's the old BTN? Let's look at that. Wait a second. Go back down. Do you have PX for pixels?
PX?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have PX.
Okay. Scroll back up to the BTN. Let's look at the other one that you created. The old one.
Oh, I don't. Let's see.
Yeah, you'll find it. Keep going.
Oh, here?
Yeah. That shouldn't affect it.
And it wouldn't have been anything I did in the form, like here.
No.
All right, I'm just going to save that again. Save that again. Try and refresh it again. Oh, there it is.
Oh my God. I don't understand.
Oh my God, I don't know why.
There's this delay. It's so frustrating. Oh my God, this delay. I don't know how to like stop that because that's like really weird.
So this doesn't happen to you, like when you're working at work,
Well,
yours just.
So I have this. See, this is I should have like. These are things I should have done in the beginning. I didn't anticipate that it would be such a issue, but it is. I have this extension called it's Cache Killer. So I enable it. So every time I'm working on a website, it basically what this does when it's on, every time you refresh the page, it kills the cache. And that's important when I'm coding.
Oh.
Because I don't want to be mistaken that I'm looking at something old or something like that. So I just didn't. Cache Killer. I guess I think the browser by default like tries to hold the cache for a while, you know, and it's kind of frustrating. Actually, we get this a lot with clients. It's very frustrating because
Oh, that's true. They can't see what you did then.
yeah, they're like, oh, you know, they'll send us a screenshot. It's not fixed. It's not fixed. And it's like, you have to explain to them, can you try to clear your cache? Can you blah, blah, and it just becomes a headache. But now I see the issue. So anyway, it's helpful. Next time around, I'll have people use that extension, Chrome extension.
Okay, that's good. And I'll try that extension. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
No.
I mean, but it's not for, I mean, I'm sure Firefox has, I think you're using Firefox here, but I'm not, yeah. So every browser will have its own extension for that. But anyway, so that's good for now. I honestly, like, we're good here. Let's do a little comments I want to explain a couple of things, and then do you want to do the fonts, guys? Like I have like thinking about how to like change the fonts before.
Yeah,
Sure. Yes.
So let's do that. Let's end with that because we're almost at 9, and I think it'll take us probably 15 minutes to get there. So for the form, just as a quick thing, generally we're submitting the form. You know, it takes a little more than this. It's a little advanced for this. I don't want to distract you guys. Let's get to the font thing. Submitting the forms is going to. By the way, there is one thing I did forget, which is the form tag. That needs to be wrapped around. I'm sorry, it needs to be wrapped around the. Watch what I did here. It needs to be wrapped around these elements.
okay.
So if you see that, there's a form.
Can you show your,
Oh, I'm not. Oh, okay. Sorry. Hold on. Yeah. See, this is my code, and I put the open form and close form at the end. So if you just, I'll do it again. So if you put your tab, like tab right above the inputs, type form, tab, it'll create the open and close. Yeah. And then what I do is I take this closing one and I'm going to cut it and paste it underneath. I need it to wrap, those elements have to be children, you know, it has to be like inside the form. This is basically just saying we're creating a form. And that's important. I don't know why I forgot that.
form action, but. the
Yeah, so I'll
closing-
explain. That's what I wanted to explain. But just first so there you go.
So I should delete this part though,
Which part?
this right here.
No, that should be, I thought you did it already. That should be here. Remember I said cut it, copy and paste it, or cut it and paste it below?
Okay, I was trying to get it in.
Yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, now I have to paste it down here, right?
Yeah, but the whole thing, though. Like, just, okay. The whole closing tag, not just like, you didn't. Just can you go back, like just Command Z, like back to get
That's
it
what
back
I'm doing.
so you get confused.
But this whole thing.
No, look at my thing. Look, I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, I'm sorry it's going too fast. I'm trying to find my place in the code and then do it and you're already done.
Yeah, I'll go slow. So this right here.
Okay, so you have form action and then you typed. Oh no, I see. So from here to here. Yeah, okay. So cut that part.
Mhm.
And then that just goes, I'm trying to look. And where did you paste that? Before the href. Okay. And what does that do now?
So that does nothing for us here, but it's going when you start to, when you're gonna start, like if you get into the, advanced and you want to submit the form, you need that tag when you search for like advanced techniques, like how to submit an HTML form, that needs it to be there because the PHP, whatever you end up using, has to recognize that it's a form. But that's, like I said, that's advanced, but I just wanted you to have at least the syntax intact. So form,
Right.
what happens is action says when the thing is submitted, send it to some page. So you might have a page.php that runs the script that's going to process the form. It's going to send it there. Now, like I said, this is much more advanced. But if you end up kind of researching this, I just wanted you to have like the basis. So just make sure you wrap the text field in a form, and there should be an action. This is going to be empty now. Nothing's going to happen here. But I just wanted you to have it to know that that's what it should be like.
Okay.
Okay. So we're just working on the front end kind of stuff right now. The back end stuff is it's a whole other thing. But
Right.
like I said, you can kind of Google search these things, like, you know, after the class, and you know, these are like little things that are going to take time, you know, like,
Yeah.
you know. So all right, so let's jump to the Google Fonts thing. Okay, so now we have these ugly fonts. First of all, for me, I'm just going to go into my CSS and let me just get rid of all this red stuff. I'm going to go up in my code and just delete these red borders that I see all over.
Wait, where is, I don't even, oh, my red is not highlighted red. My red colors just say solid red, and they're not highlighted like that.
Yeah,
I have a
that's
cool
the same for me.
extension. I have these cool extensions.
Yeah, so it's not easy to find.
I know.
So we're just deleting that entire line?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just look for border, you know, red. Just I guess just look for the word red.
Okay.
Yeah, that. See, Jill, I can see yours.
I'm just looking to see if there are any others. So just the whole line.
Yeah, just get rid of the whole. And then the one under header, yeah, that one. Scroll down. I think you had it somewhere else. Section.work might have had one.
Oh, there it is.
There's another
This?
one in that line.
Yeah.
Kina, you're good.
So does that mean, like, I just deleted the one I have, but then do I need to delete the div tag too? Because then that leaves it blank.
No, don't delete the div. Which div?
Oh, look, this one I just, you know what, let me go.
Oh, okay. Now I got rid of all the borders.
Leave that. That's fine.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so that looks good with all the borders gone.
Yeah, now it actually looks like a website kind of thing. You know, that's helpful. So now we have the contact page, right? So everything's good. So let's look at the. Okay, so let's do the font thingy. Okay. So, all right. So, okay, go to your browser. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Google. Okay. Okay. Search Google Fonts.
Google Fonts. Okay.
Scroll down. You see the fonts.google. Click that. Okay. So this is not the only way to add fonts. This is one of the ways, but this is a very cheap, free way to get sophisticated fonts. Otherwise, you might have to pay for them, download them. Google Fonts has all of these. They have up to 1,000, you know, fonts. Otherwise, you have to get licenses for the fonts and all that kind of stuff. So they have like a lot of the cool, like, you know, interesting things.
Now, are these fonts, I know there are a lot of font issues, like if your client doesn't have the fonts, is this like a web font that they don't need to have? Or
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
And there is a way to create web fonts. You know, you can use web fonts in your CSS, but you have to get a license for the web fonts. And Google Fonts gives you a license, and it'll be a web font that no one, you know, everyone will see it when it's added to the page.
Uh-huh.
So let's first scroll here, pick a font. Don't go crazy. Just pick one. I'm gonna pick. I'm gonna pick Open Sans, and just click plus. I'll explain how to. Later on, you can go look for it. I mean, if you find something now, use it. Just click plus to whatever you find. Okay.
Okay.
Then click this little drop down that it added on the bottom. Just open that up.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So there's two things that we need. The first thing we need this script. So now you're going to learn what we do with the head tag. So I'm going to copy and paste this link. Okay. Copy that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I'm going to go into now my. Hold on. I have trying to share my. Okay. So now I'm going to go into. Now this has to be. Seeing the head. Look at in the head tag. We're linking to our styles, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I've got to find the head tag.
Yeah. Scroll all the way up.
Okay.
You see the link that links to the styles?
Yeah.
So doesn't that look very similar to what we just copied? It's the same thing. It's another link to another page that Google hosts. So whatever I copied, I'm pasting it right here.
Okay.
Right underneath it. Okay.
So Kino, waiting for you to do that. No, that's not going to do anything just yet, Jill, but
Okay.
just, okay. So all this is doing, remember we said that the link is basically pulling, like our CSS doesn't exist on an HTML page. It exists on a separate file, right, called styles.css. So this link, this HTML tag imports stuff from whatever page. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now what this link is doing is importing the classes that the Google, API, whatever hosts. You don't have to worry about that file. All it is saying, import all the crap from this link. Now, every time you change the font, you have to update that link. But right now we chose Open Sans. Let me share my my browser. So we chose Open Sans, and you see it in the link here. This is Google's way of like creating a link that says import all the Open Sans fonts, and now we have it there. Now, this font family is the CSS property for changing the font. Okay, so it's giving me the property and the value. It's giving me the CSS property and the value. I'm going to take this whole line, copy it. Okay, all this is a CSS property.
Uh-huh.
But we needed to import the font first. It needs the font to be imported, and now the font family, we're going to tell it we want Open Sans. Okay, so I'm going to go now to my Sublime. I want to share my Sublime with you. Okay, so now we've imported the Open Sans. Now I want to go to my CSS style. I want to say, now I'm just going to show you how to make this the default font. So now we want to say, I'm going to add another class. Scroll up here. Not another class. I'm going to add to the HTML. So HTML.
So under header.
Yeah, you could put this anywhere. Yeah, I would put this at the top, actually. All the way to the top.
Okay.
So we're basically, yeah, scroll down. Yeah, there you are, above the header. There you are. So now I'm going to type HTML, comma, body. So these two elements, HTML, and which is this HTML, and body, I'm going to open the curly brackets. And here is where I'm going to say, I want all of my like the whole body to utilize this font. So the I'm just pasting, I just pasted that CSS. Font family is the property, and the value is Open Sans. Okay, so if you refresh, the fonts across the board should be.
Oh yeah, it's different font. Okay. Oh, you know what?
Ooh.
Comments doesn't look like it took on the right attributes.
Yeah. Comments, the placeholders don't take that. There is another CSS code that deals with the placeholders. I'll have to give you that.
Okay.
But just make sure that this, Keena, did this work for you?
Yes, it did.
Okay. Now, if you go to now, here's the thing. Let's just pause. Here's the thing. We're doing two things here. One, all this is a CSS property. It's called font family. It's saying, what's the font family? Give me the values, Open Sans. Okay, which is fine. That works. But it won't show Open Sans unless you import this. You have to make sure you imported the font.
Right, right.
Okay. So otherwise, just like you said, no one will see it. This was Google's solution to creating this kind of like web font, and then everyone could see it because you're importing it.
Yeah.
Now, go back. I mean, we don't have to. I want you to play with this after class. You can change. You can add a new font, and then what happens is if you go back to your browser. Oh, I'm not sharing my browser. Hold on. I just added another one, but let me just delete that. So let's say I scroll down, I want a different font, Lato. I add that, plus if you go to the drop down, it added both Lato and Open Sans, and then you could see in the link, it adds Lato and Open Sans. That's if you want, say you want both. Say you want a couple of fonts. You don't want to add too many here though, because it'll increase the load time. You have a couple, and that's it. And generally with design,
Plus, it'll look bad.
yeah, you only want probably 2 fonts max.
Mhm.
But if you want to use 2 more, now it gives you the property, and you could say, you could give certain classes the different fonts.
Right.
But then you just need to highlight,
And then you could use one font, like you
Yeah.
would specify that in CSS where you want one font and where you want the other.
Yeah, exactly. You would just change, the font.
Okay.
You would change the font family property, which is this font family.
Yeah,
I
this.
just gave this across the board, but if you want to say change the font family for just a header, for example, then you can just put that for the header. Does that make sense?
Where would you put it if you're just doing it for header?
Well, you put it wherever. Remember, this is just a style. It's a property. You can put it anywhere. You can put it here.
But like to make it not across the board. Like if you just wanted it for
Just- This is what makes things across the board, HTML and body. So if you don't want it to be across the board, don't add it to the whole body. So if I just get rid of that and just add it to my header, it'll put it in the header.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you just put it under there.
Yeah, play.
All right.
Test that out. Test that out. You'll see that.
Okay.
The one other thing, if you link over to your other pages, it won't work because you have to add the link to every page into the head tag. Keep that in mind.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So make sure you do that. I can post the code for the placeholder. The placeholders take on a particular. Unfortunately, I hate this about placeholders of the forms, that you can't change the style without a particular code in the CSS, and I could post that in the
Okay.
Slack. Actually, you know what? I'll link it up actually instead. This is easier to link it up. CSS placeholder. If you just Google search placeholder CSS, you will get the right stuff that you need. It will show you the CSS that style the placeholders. They're like a funky title.
Okay.
So there's a lot of like little nuances, it's hard, we can't obviously cover all that stuff, and I just hope that this was like helpful in kind of like giving you at least some foundation.
Yeah, it's a good overview of.
Yes, I agree. too.
How do you guys feel about this now?
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, it's good. I have a good kind of like understanding of, behind the scenes. Like,
Yeah.
Yes, same here.
My aim with this is like that, I prefer that, people learn to become like self-learners, that obviously this doesn't end here. And like, I want to show you like how I think about things and like how you can continue on. These like little things, you can Google search them, like the CSS for the placeholder, the CSS property for this, for that. Anything that starts to come to your mind, you can kind of, Google search it and get the answer. As some helpful things, I'm going to go to my browser, is that generally if I get stuck, search, I would add CSS to something and say CSS like border property. If you get
okay,
stuck
yeah,
with something, and W3 Schools is generally a very good reference. You can see the first, like the top 5 is all W3 Schools links. And it gives you all the technicalities that I don't remember everything. I don't memorize all the properties.
right.
But you end up using so many of the same ones over and over. When you do that, you'll learn. Stack Overflow is a great place for questions and answers. StackOverflow.com is a good Q&A place. The problem with Stack Overflow is that people are very passionate and gung-ho, and if you look like you're asking questions that you're not doing the work for, like you're not researching, people will like downvote you. So it's like super helpful, but you have to really respect the community. The Stack Overflow is huge for developers. So if you want to ask a question, you go ask a question and you title it question, and at the bottom you put the tag, like tag HTML, so that it only goes to like the HTML and CSS community. Otherwise, you don't want to link it out to too many different communities, just HTML and CSS. And people will be very helpful, but people just don't like questions that are like look like you're just looking for an answer. It has to kind of look like you did the work. Your question has to be very specific.
Yeah, like it's not something you could have just Googled and gotten the answer in 2 seconds.
Yeah, and you can't be like, hey guys, how do I, make a web page? People are gonna downvote you, and you could lose. When you get downvoted too many times, they block you. So you want to respect this community because it's very helpful. But you can say things like, I'm trying this, post your code, paste your code in there. How do I, this color, and just be very specific about it. Then it helps. Stack Overflow, Google searching, and add the keyword CSS HTML to get relevant information. That's helpful. And I think that's it, guys.
All right. Yeah, this was really good. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Omar. Would you also recommend Udemy? I know I see.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to take courses on Udemy, go for it.
What about General Assembly?
I mean, honestly, yeah, General Assembly is great. It's going to be more expensive. I think if you want to do like more, I'll tell you what's pretty good. Okay, there's Code Academy, I think is a good one. So you can, Code Academy, I think is fairly free. And if you want to continue, yeah, it's free actually. If you want to continue your HTML CSS journey, Code Academy has an HTML and CSS. If you want to do another overview, I would just take the HTML and CSS course. I think it's free.
Codeacademy.com.
Yeah,
okay.
Codeacademy.com. Should come up in Google.
All right.
Code Academy is free. I think with the context you have here, doing these things might be helpful. I don't like them in the beginning because they're very like Wikipedia style like, but I think now that you have the context to it, and you do these things, you'll, I don't know, doesn't let me start here. Let me see. Oh yeah. Code Academy kind of does, it's a little interesting. You have to read and then practice the code. I'm not crazy about it. Just it gets a little hard. and then it's like if you get stuck, it doesn't like give you a hint.
Yeah.
You know, it got a little tricky. Code Academy is helpful. I think the things that are more paid are more helpful. This is good for free, but again, you're kind of like on your own, you know, kind of thing. You get stuck, gets a little tricky, but it's good to practice.
What paid ones are good, do you think?
Yeah, paid ones because you know they're gonna do a little more. Team Treehouse is like a monthly fee,
Okay.
but I find it they're way more like legitimate. They have more in teaching.
Uh-huh.
Team Treehouse is like I think $30 a month. You could go in there and practice the HTML and CSS, and it's a little more helpful.
Okay.
Play around with that. You know, those I think these are two good resources. There's a lot of stuff online, but I think the paid stuff is going to be a little more. Udemy, you know, has a lot of courses. Sometimes I think the Udemy stuff is low quality, but like if we put, let's say, HTML, CSS, something will come up here. You know, there's a lot of courses. I think a lot of them are like $15, $20 kind of thing. The problem, you know, it just you don't know what you're gonna get. You know, some of them are good, some of them are bad. You just have to kind of risk it. Like look at the description, see what looks interesting, and you know, and do it. I mean, you can't go wrong with $10 here, you know, there.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. You know, right. So you just have to look and see what's good and what's bad. This was my problem with a lot of this stuff. That's why I want to make a course, is that there's just so much, and I feel like it can get confusing. But now that you have like kind of like a foundation, I think like you can start to explore some of the things and see what fits you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
You know, and I had hoped to make like a more advanced course. And if I do, if you guys want to know about it, I'll be sure to let you know if you're interested.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
please do.
Yeah, I think it's fun because we do it together. And what else? I think that's it. So, guys, I mean, if you don't mind, I mean, I would love for your feedback. I created like a form, and I'll post it in Slack. It's just questions like, I have like 5 questions, just like, what did you like about the class? What do I need to work on like the next time around? What can I like spend more time doing, basically?
Uh-huh.
What did you learn? What do you wish you learned more of? And you don't have to go crazy, you know, like just whatever you put, how will you use what you learn moving forward? And I will love a testimonial from you guys because I want to do this more often. And I would really love a testimonial. I would really appreciate that. I mostly want a testimonial that explains why this could be helpful for people and to learn from your perspective, like how you came in knowing nothing, and you know, if you think that this would be helpful and why. Could you do that for me?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, Omar, will the with today being our last class now, are you shutting down this within Slack? Like, will we still have access?
No, yeah, no, we'll still be connected, and feel free to connect. Feel free to, you know, communicate with me. Yeah, no, I'm keeping it going because I'm having different cohorts, and I'm going to be adding more people. Like more people are interested, and I'm still figuring this out. Like I might do another course like this again for other people. I might do another more advanced. But yeah, the Slack is open, and communicate with each other. Like help each other out. That's what it's for. You know, I'm surprised like nobody uses it that much. Like I know because everyone's busy. You know, everyone's working. But talk to each other. You can post announcements there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So keep it going. We'll stay connected. This is not. It's not over. You know, we'll. I'm on there. You can email me anytime.
Okay, cool.
And I appreciate this workshop. And I'll tell you one thing I've learned. I mean, I've tried to be as patient. I know sometimes I was moving fast, or you know, I hope I wasn't too impatient. I tried to be as much as, you know, we're all tired. We come from work, and we're all doing this, and you know, I next time around, I want to spend more time on the principles and basics more, and try to get that solidified. But I know that even when you go over it, you still need to practice, right? So, you know, you can never be perfect.
Yeah. Right.
maybe when I was coding, I hope I wasn't going too fast. I mean, for me, I realized that, and I'll slow down next time. You know.
Yeah, sometimes it's just hard to like find the right spot in the code, and then I'm like, oh my God, he's already gone ahead. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you, man. Listen, I want to get better at this myself. I think I've learned a lot. Sometimes the Google Hangouts was frustrating, but at least it let us do this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I
I feel like I have a better,
right?
you know, somewhat of an understanding now. So
Yeah, no, you'll be fine. Listen, it just the bottom line is what people struggle with is I think they expect like if I don't get this now, I don't understand. You know, it takes time. Like, and the only way you get this is you have to keep coding. Like, you have to do this over again and over again, and you have to try to keep doing it.
yeah,
You don't learn by thinking about it. You know what I mean? Like, so I would just take like open up your code pen and be like, okay, how do I like, you know, open up the code pen and just try to create like a button, you know, and try to create another, you know, a header on your own,
Mm-hmm.
you know, kind of thing. And then as you get stuck, Google search. As you get stuck, Google search, you know, that kind of thing. So, all right, guys. So I'm gonna post this
okay.
this link into the. How do I do this? This is so much here. I'm gonna post this into the Slack, and if you please, I'd really appreciate that testimonial or something, something I can use so that other people who came, you know, I'm trying to reach out to more people who are beginners, and I just see people getting stuck, and I want to create this like class that I did with you guys. I just want to make it better and better, and
Yeah.
I'm learning as I go. But I'm trying to show people like why something like this is helpful for them as opposed to like the stuff online right now that is I think you need like a basic foundation with us doing it together.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
well, it's good because if you get
Yeah.
stuck, then you don't have anybody to ask, and you're like, now what?
Right.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
all right, guys, let me post this.
You know, too, let us know if you do any other meetups that,
Sorry, I'm just posting this now in here. So I posted the link there. Oops, sorry. I don't know if I posted it. There it is. Okay. Yeah. Should be.
All right. I can't do it now, but I will
Yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
yeah. Just do it. Yes, if I do a new meetup, I'll definitely. I got you guys emails. I got you guys on Slack. I'm probably gonna do more. You know, if anything comes up, I'll post on Slack. It's a little easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
All right. Thanks.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right, Jill. No problem. Okay, guys. All right, Kina. Take care. Thank you for being good sports.
All
Have a
right.
good
Thank
one.
you.
Enjoy your holiday weekend too.
You too. All right. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye.